in Europe, there's a bunch of European politicians who have been busted for being paid, literally taking money in exchange for spreading anti-Ukraine and pro-Russian propaganda. This was busted open by Czech media, by a media organization inside Czechoslovakia, and it turns out that the whole thing was orchestrated by a Ukrainian oligarch, a Russian, pro-Russian Ukrainian oligarch by the name of Viktor Medvedchuk. And politicians from Germany, France, Poland, Belgium, the Netherlands, and Hungary have all been busted for being paid directly with cash or through cryptocurrency for promoting Russian propaganda in Europe. These are not just troll networks and stuff like that. These are actual human intelligence operations. He notes operatives of Russia's security services met with politicians, journalists, activists, and other influencers and paid them to carry out certain tasks. Last year, the Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project revealed that politicians in Germany, Italy, and Cyprus were paid by Russian operatives to introduce legislation literally written by Russian intelligence officers. They also uncovered examples of parliamentary staff members, party activists, and members of think tanks publishing articles in European press outlets under their name, while the articles were actually written by Russian handlers. One activist from Austria even complained to his handler about the quality of the article that he had to put his name on. He said, "I am not a robot," but nonetheless he published the article under his own name. So Alex Finley, the author of this piece, who is a former CIA officer, asks the question, could this be happening here in the United States too? He points out Michael McCaul, the congressman who is the chairman of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, said, quote, "I think Russian propaganda has made its way into the United States, unfortunately, and it's infected a good chunk of my party's base." Mike Turner, Congressman Mike Turner, the chair of the House Intelligence Committee, these are both Republicans, told Jake Tapper a few days later, quote, "We see directly coming from Russia attempts to mask communications that are anti-Ukraine and pro-Russian messages, some of which we even hear being uttered on the House floor." Ken Buck, you know, the Republican congressman, I believe he's from Texas, maybe Colorado. He says, quote, "Moscow Marjorie Greene is focused now on this Ukraine issue and getting her talking points from the Kremlin." Right. In 2016, Kevin McCarthy had a private meeting with GOP leaders that got recorded, and so we have the audio of it. He says, "There's two people I think Putin pays, Dana Rohrabacher and Donald Trump. I swear to God." And, you know, I think they're right. But here's the problem. He writes as that, you know, you look at this, you know, like a Texas firm donated money to Mike Johnson in 2018. That firm was owned by 3 Russians, 88% of it. Last week we learned that Trump Media got loans from a Russian bank to help the country stay afloat before it went public. Donations are made through anonymous LLCs and PACs. And because of the Supreme Court legalizing bribery with Citizens United and legalizing anonymous bribery, we don't have any way of finding out if these corporations or super PACs are actually funded by Russia outside of the occasional whistleblower. Because 5 corrupt Republicans on the Supreme Court legalized foreign governments buying off politicians. You know, in John Paul Stevens, in his dissent in Citizens United in 2010, in that dissent, he uses the example of Tokyo Rose. Tokyo Rose was the Japanese propagandist who was constantly on the radio telling American pilots, "Yeah, don't worry, we're going to win. You just go home, you know, everything." And he says, you know, John Paul Stevens in his Citizens United dissent, he was on this, you know, Associate Justice of the Supreme Court. He said this decision would have legalized Tokyo Rose. And here we are. You got another one, this is Hungary's Center for Fundamental Rights. It's funded by Viktor Orban. And twice now they've funded CPAC conferences in Budapest. This is, again, an organization heavily tied to Putin's Russia.